the Milwaukee Show, and today we're talking about the most dominant team in the NHL. And no, that is not the Capitals, it is not the Jets, it's not the Stars or the Avalanche, it's not even the Toronto Maple Leafs. It is the team wearing the blue and yellow and darker blue, the St. Louis Blues. I cannot believe what they are doing. They have found the book of the Necronomicon. They have found it. They've opened it to the right page and have read it for the special code once again, and they have done everything to unlock another potential Stanley Cup because they did it in 2019 and they're redoing it this year. And it is mind-blowing that they're doing it again. But first, if you like me and more of my videos and you want to see more of them as they come out, you should subscribe by hitting that red button so you make sure you see everything. Then like this video because I know you like it. How couldn't you? And then comment that you did so then I'll like you. There we go. Anyways, let's talk about the Blues. So, let's take a trip down memory lane to the good old days of when life was better in 2019, not this cruddy-ass hell that we live in 2025. 2019, the year where the St. Louis Blues were at one point at the literal bottom of the NHL. And somehow, they fired their coach during the long way and brought in Craig Berube to take over the role. And at some point in that stretch, they went on an 11-game winning streak. Their goaltender, Jordan Binnington, from the AHL, being called up, and he goes on a fucking mayhem drive of the NHL, getting tons of wins, racking up some crazy stats, and some amazing highlights. And they make the playoffs with 99 points and play the Winnipeg Jets in the first round and go on to win the Stanley Cup in the year that was the same year, remember, when the San Jose Sharks were on their big, first round against Vegas. They get the whole 5-minute call, and then they cheat against the Avalanche, and then they cheat with the hand pass against St. Louis. They got past the cheating goddamn Sharks, made it to the finals, and beated the fucking Bruins wheels off. So, the Blues are back at it again, and they are currently, this year, were out of the Stanley Cup playoff picture for quite a while at the beginning of the year, have gone on a tear ever since the Four Nations face-off. Robert Thomas has 29 points in 14 games or some insane stat like that. They had a coaching change, bringing in Jim Montgomery from the Boston Bruins, and they are currently on a franchise-tying 11-game winning streak like in 2019, and are currently at 91 points. They have 5 games left, easily could get to 99 points again, and it would not be out of the picture for them to play once again against the Winnipeg Jets in the first round, which then could be really funny because they could play. Anyways, everything is currently on a path that looks like St. Louis may literally have found the secret curse code and have playing it out in front of our eyes again, right? But can they pull it off? Can they do the remarkable again in 2025 like they did 6 years ago? I don't know about that one. So in the first round, they're going to be a wild card team. I don't really think they find a way to get into a top 3 spot. I just don't think that'd just be so good because their win streak has got to come to an end before the playoffs start, right? Unless it doesn't, but even then, it's they have to make up the points, the teams in front of them have to lose, so it's unlikely, right? And I also don't think they should in the first place, but I'll talk about in literally 10 more seconds. But they'll finish off in a wild card spot, most likely the first wild card spot, but I think they should go for the second wild card spot, because in the first one, they will play against the Vegas Golden Knights, which this season, they are 2-1 against the Vegas Golden Knights in some kind of close games. The Vegas really has had their number this year, but of course, that was a while ago in the season. It wasn't like this current team that we're watching now. The Winnipeg Jets, though, not only have they been closer with Winnipeg in this season series so far, it is 2-1, the same as Vegas, but those games have finished 4-3 twice, and the game that St. Louis won was 4-2. So it has been a close series with them, and Winnipeg is also a god-awful playoff team. So if I was St. Louis, I would say, hold on, boys. Let's let Minnesota take our spot. We'll finish off with 99 points again because we got to solidify the curse. But we'll let Minnesota get ahead of us, and we will take the second wild spot and play against the Winnipeg Jets. That would be my opinion. Now, if they play the Jets, I think they got it. The Winnipeg Jets are the worst playoff team I think I can think of. We've seen it over and over and over again. Any team that thinks they're a dark horse to win, you're an insane maniac. The Jets do not have what it takes to win the Stanley Cup. We've seen it multiple times very recently. Vegas, though, no. They will not beat Vegas, especially in the first round. Vegas has every single tool to the puzzle. They've got the defense, they've got the offense, they got the goaltending. Good enough goaltending. Not like steal you a bunch of wins goaltending, but Aiden Hill in net can definitely win at least a couple of games and stay solid when you've got that defense of Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore, blah, 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 blah. Their defense is insane for Vegas. And then offensively, they're stacked. Vegas is just, they are a fortress. St. Louis does not have the defense capable enough to shut them down enough. Their goaltending could do a lot. Binnington has been insane lately, but I don't think it's good enough to make up for the defense. And offensively, they're not deep enough to really overcome Vegas. Winnipeg, yes, though. So if they play against Vegas, definitely not getting in the first round. Winnipeg, 100%, I would be locking in every bet in the world if I was playing up against, if St. Louis is playing against Winnipeg. So let's hypothetically say they play up against Winnipeg, they get the second wild card spot, they win the first round. They'd go on and they'd play Dallas. I would choose over the Avalanche at this point, but Dallas or the Avs, that one's a really tough one. The Avalanche are such a strange team where they've got like Landeskog could be coming back. Blackwood's going to be in his first real playoff run. You got there's just a lot of layers to them. They haven't looked that great, but they bring in Brock Nelson. They have a lot of interesting studs in the lineup now, especially for this playoff run, that I think could overshadow the Blues. But the Blues have been so on fire lately. The Dallas Stars, though, no. Dallas has got their number. They've proven it over and over and over again this season. 3-0 for the season series for Dallas. Jay Gottinger has gotten one shutout, and I think have only let them score 3 goals in the entire 3 games they've played. Dallas has got this. One of the games finished 6-3 for Dallas. So Dallas has got them, and I think Avs probably got them. If they play against Vegas, then they somehow bit past them. I think they play the Kings in the second round. I think Kings are going to be that understar, underrated, potential Stanley Cup winner. I think they beat their ass too. So even if they get past the second round, conference final, they'll play against one of these teams on the board here that I've already said beats their wheels off. They get to the final. No, I just don't think so. They are not getting to the final. This team is not like the Blues of that season where they actually had some legitimate had a legitimate team of Tarasenko and Shen and Schwartz, some solid players in the lineup. Robert Thomas was coming up, Sammy Blais, they had some good rookies coming up and playing, and they got Jimmy Snuggerud now, but he's not going to be like a Robert Thomas in my eyes who can really add that potential depth that they don't have already to begin with. Defensively, they're in shambles. I know Parayko's injured right now, but I just don't think between Dylan Holloway I just don't see it. I think Kyrou is not the kind of goal scorer that's going to push them over the hump. I think Robert Thomas will be their best player in the playoffs continuing into there, and I think Holloway will also be a big deal. I think he's kind of got that strong, aggressive, fight hard and style of hockey you need for the playoffs too. But I think it's just they're not going to have enough guys in the lineup to overcome other teams in their way. So to me, no. I think they get past the first round if they play against Winnipeg, and I think they will have a good series against any other team. But I think the farthest they could possibly get is the second round going to 6 games. That's as far as I see them going. So no. The Blues, are they ever going to lose again? Maybe not in the regular season, but they are going to not see the Stanley Cup again. There's just no way. Not happening. But they will be fun to watch. I think they will be a really fun, challenging team to play against, but I don't think they have at all what it takes. But interesting to see what happens going forward with them. But that is all I got to say. So thank you for watching this. You made it this far. Please, I am begging you, please subscribe. It'll make me happy. And anyways, too sweet. Have an amazing day, and ta-ta for now.